what are you doing?
Well, all good, Soumya. Waiting for ma'am.
Okay, do you know what ma'am had taught us yesterday?
Yes, Soumya. She taught us about characteristics of living things, and she had also shown few activities.
Do you remember that activities?
Yes, I also performed at home.
What were those, Vanya?
Onion peel activity shows us that even plants are also made up of cells.
Really? Wow. What was another one?
All living beings respire.
How did ma'am perform? Actually, I was absent yesterday.
By taking two pots. To one pot she gave water and to another she didn't give water.
How interesting are that activities?
Ma'am said if these activities are clear to you, it means you have achieved learning outcomes.
What are the learning outcomes?
Learning outcomes means takeaway of the topic that has explained by ma'am. What ma'am has taught us and what we have learned from ma'am teaching. This is the learning outcomes.
Really? I'm very excited for today's lecture.
Me too.
Let's see what will ma'am teach us today.
Hello students, welcome back to your biology class. Hope you have seen the previous videos and including the Tata Edge video. All are fine. And let's continue with the chapter 7, which we were discussing in our previous lecture, that is the world of living. So students, the topic which we are going to discuss today is characteristics of living beings, which are a continued part. Earlier we have discussed four characteristics, that is living things, they are made up of cells. Living things, they grow. Living things, they need food, they need energy, and they also respire. So we are going to discuss the rest of the characteristics today. So next is the discuss the learning outcomes. After the completion of the topic, students, you will be able to state the characteristics of living things, means you are able to write all the characteristics of living things. You will be able to define stimulus. What is the definition of stimulus? Which is an external force to which any living being, either a plant or the animal, that respond. Next is you will be able to demonstrate that stem of the plant, it moves toward the sunlight. You will be able to perform a practical even at home also. Next, you will be able to classify living beings on the basis of type of reproduction, like plants, they reproduce through by seed germination, by vegetative propagation. On the other hand, animals, they reproduce by the by giving birth to young ones or by laying the eggs. So on the basis of this, you will be able to divide the living beings. Next, you will be able to describe that you will living beings, they also excrete, they also remove the waste material from the body. That waste may be in form of urea, in form of carbon dioxide, in animals also, and in plants stomata are there which helps to remove the waste. Similarly, you will be able to describe the about the lifespan of different animals. So all these are the learning outcomes which will be achieved after the end of the topic. So let's begin with the characteristic. Living things move. So all animals, including the human being, they move from place to place. So why do human beings, they move from place to place? Just because for the energy, for the food they require, for in search of food they move from place to place, and so as to protect themselves, so they move from place to place. Although plants, they are fixed, they do not move, but they respond to the gravity, they respond towards the light. So next characteristic is response to stimuli. First we are going to discuss what is stimuli. So question is stimuli. What is stimuli? So stimuli is the anything that causes an organism to react. Means any organism which it show its reaction towards the light, towards the touch, towards the heat, towards the sound. So all these things, light, touch, heat, sound, these are the external forces to which an organism respond. So let's do an activity in which we are going to demonstrate, investigate how the plants they move towards the light and the roots they move towards the gravity. Let's start with an activity to show the stem move towards the sunlight. So for this you need a shoe box and we have to place two cardboard pieces and we have to fix that cardboard pieces with the help of glue or with the help of cello tape. Now after that you have to make a hole on the other side of the shoe box and you can cover that hole with the cello tape, transparent tape. Now we are going to place a pot carrying the saplings, carrying the baby plants at the bottom of the shoe box. We will observe after few days that stem moves towards the sunlight and this phenomenon is called as phototropism. So let's place this pot in a tilted position with having saplings, having baby plant in it. Now I am going to cover this shoe box with the its lid, and we will place this shoe box near the window or near in the sunlight. So you will observe that inside the box hole the area is dark. No, this box is receiving sunlight, but from the tip it is receiving. And after 15 days or 2 weeks, you will observe that the stem it will move, it will bend towards that hole that is toward upside towards the sunlight where the its tip receiving the sunlight, this stem is moving towards that side. So this shows that plants they move towards sunlight and this phenomenon is called phototropism. Let's start with an activity to show roots they bend towards gravity. For this, you have to take a glass jar. I have inserted cotton in it and put some seeds. Must remember that we have to sprinkle water every day. After a few days, you will see that the roots they start arising and they always move towards the downwardly towards the gravity towards the earth. This phenomenon is called as a geotropism. See, the length of the roots they start increasing and stem also start arising and it always moves towards the sunlight, towards the light. And we know that seeds they need water, air and warmth for suitable for their germination. See the length of the roots that start increasing. So this phenomena in which the roots they start growing downwardly, this is called geotropism, and they show response towards the gravity which is a stimulus, and stem which grow towards the sunlight, this phenomenon is called phototropism. So after watching this practical demonstration, it has been clear that the tip of the stem it always bend towards the sunlight, it always move towards the sunlight, and this phenomenon is called as a phototropism. Photo means light, tropism means movement, that is bending of tip of the stem towards the light is called as a phototropism. Similarly, you have watched that in that demonstration activity, that practical activity where the root they grow downwardly, that is towards the earth, towards the gravity, they always grow downward होते हैं, and this phenomenon is called as a geotropism. So by doing this practical work, by your learning outcome it has been achieved, that is to demonstrate that the stem they always respond towards the light. So let's take few more examples to explain the stimulus. So earthworm, it moves away from the sunlight and saline medium. When we sprinkle saline water, saline medium is salty water. When we put saline water over the earthworm, it generally coils its body. Similarly, earthworm always never comes out in the sunlight. It always coil its body when it faces the sunlight. In the second picture, we have already explained through the activity that the tip of the shoot system, it always moves toward the light. Even the plant is placed in a shady area, but its tip always respond correctly towards the sunlight. In the next picture, you can see the touch me not plant, which is also called mimosa. When we touch this plant, it always closes itself, so that is its response towards the stimulus. That stimulus is touch. Similarly, you can take more examples. When you touch a hot iron, what will you do? You generally uh, stay away from that hot iron. Clear? So what is that is your response towards the sunlight. Similarly, when you put some strong heat of that beam of light on your eyeball generally it shrinks. So that is your stimulus towards the light here. So next characteristic is living things, they reproduce. So first comes the definition. What is reproduction? Reproduction is the process of giving birth to new individuals. So this is called as a reproduction. Then comes why do organisms reproduce? Why there is a need of reproduction. So basically why organisms reproduce? They reproduce for the continuous existence of their species so as to maintain their species generation over generation. So reproduction, it varies in plant and animals. So you can see here plants, in case of plants, they reproduce through the seeds. When seed it germinate, it get the suitable conditions like air, water, warmth, it grow, it start germinating and it become a seedling. So then after seedling it grow and finally it become an adult plant. Clear? So plants they reproduce through the seeds. Similarly, they also few plants also reproduce through stem, through leaves, through roots. So this method is called as a vegetative reproduction. This you have already done in your previous class. Like few plants like sugar cane, potato, carrot, beetroot, onion, garlic, leaf of bryophyllum, they reproduce vegetatively. Clear? They grow through their stem part, leaf or root part. In case of animals, few animals they give birth to young ones. Like you can see here the picture, baby of lioness is cub, baby of sheep is lamb, baby of goat is kid, baby of mare is colt. Similarly, few animals which also lay eggs, like you can see here in the picture, a hen it gives birth to the uh, egg, then egg it changes into chick. Other examples are duck, fowl. So some are egg laying animals and some animals they give birth to young ones. So by doing this characteristic, your next learning outcome has been achieved. It means like you are now able to classify animals or plants on the basis of on the type of reproduction. So coming to the next topic, that is living things they excrete. This is your next characteristic. What do you mean by excretion? So excretion is the process of removal of waste from the body. So how does this waste removed from the body? In case of human beings, basically there are two ways through which we remove the waste. First is by the excretory waste is urea. So what is urea? Urea is a toxic compound which is formed during the cellular processes, and finally this is toxic. This is filtered by the kidney and finally it is removed from the kidney by through the urine. Clear? Next is by the breathing process. We exhale the toxic carbon dioxide gas which is not required by our body, which is poisonous, and finally we exhale out and remove out as a waste from the body. So in humans, urea is removed. Urea is removed from the urine, and carbon dioxide is removed by the process of breathing. But in case of plants, you have already studied about the way about the stomata. So stomata, what are stomata? Stomata, these are the tiny pores which are present under the surface of leaf. So basically what they will do, they do the exchange of gases, which we have already studied in first chapter also, that stomata, they are present under the leaf surface. They are tiny pores होते हैं which generally helps in exchange of gases. But there is one more function of stomata. It helps to remove the waste from the body. The waste is in form extra amount of water hai, minerals hai, which are not required by the plant, that is removed from this stomata. Clear? So living things, they excrete. Next is living things, they have a definite lifespan, which is the another characteristic of living things. So what do you mean by lifespan? Lifespan means number of years a person is expected to live. Like how many years a person is going to live, that is its lifespan. Here you can see the example of tortoise. Tortoise, it lived for about 120 years, and on the right hand side you can see the example of bacteria which live for few hours. Similarly, you can see the dog is there which generally survive to between 6 to 16 years, and human being, they survive, the average rate now in human is between 80 70 to 80 हो गया है. So that is their lifespan. So similarly you can also check out lifespan of various animals, uh, clear, and study them. Now come to the do you know part. Here you can see seeds of the moong dal. You have already done the seed germination topic in our first chapter also. You have seen when we the seeds which are there in your kitchen, you have seen that jars are there in which mama have placed the pulses. So that pulses, that grains are dry for something. So at that time they are non-living. But when these seeds, they get the suitable condition, when we provide them the air, water, warmth, all these conditions they get it, and they start germinating. You have done the seed germination topic in your chapter 1. Next you can see that is about the viruses. So this is virus. What is virus? Virus is a microorganism. So just like bacteria, virus is also a microorganism. So basically virus जो होता है, it is non-living होता है. It when it is outside the body, means when it is present in the environment, it acts as a non-living. But when it is in start entering in our body, it start multiplying and it act as a living. Clear? As it start multiplying in our body, it get food from our body, it start taking the things from our body, nourishment from body, and it start multiplying. It means it becomes living. Similarly, you have heard nowadays about the COVID virus. So COVID virus, basically it remains inactive when it is present in the air, but when it enters inside the body, so that virus start multiplying and the symptoms, they start appearing in our body. Next is the points to remember. What we have discussed, all the characteristics today, that is living things, they move, living things, they show response to gravity, living things, they reproduce, living things, they excrete, living things, they have a definite lifespan, and they show response towards the light and gravity. So that we have discussed today. So learning outcomes today, what we have achieved after the completion of topic, students, now you are able to describe all the characteristics of living beings. You are able to explain them, like living things, they move, they grow, they excrete, they reproduce, they respond to stimuli. All the characteristics now you are able to state them. You are able to then define stimulus. Stimulus means any external response, force towards which an organism responds. Now you are able to do the practical activities at home, that and able to explain them, that how the stem, how the plant they respond to the sunlight and towards the gravity. Now you are able to classify living being on the basis of the type of reproduction, like some animal they reproduce by giving the birth, some they reproduce by laying the eggs. Similarly, you are able to describe the word excretion and able to explain all the methods of excretion in animals and how do plants they excrete, and you are able to describe that the lifespan, and what is lifespan, that is the time period in up to which the animal or any plant that living being that live, and able to give the examples of various animals and their lifespan. So this is about the topic. Thank you so much for watching the video. Safe, be safe, be happy, and enjoy learning at home. Thank you so much.